Namaste. A very good day to everybody. And here I would be sharing my views on Ayurveda solutions for global warming, a cultural heritage from the past for the future crisis. And before I can begin, I would like to convey my very sincere thanks, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to be invited by World Health Congress. I'm very happy and I'm grateful to the Congress organizers and University of Latvia, the International Indic Studies, for having me there, and for Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, for deputing me here. So here I would like to be sharing my views, and I would also like to thank the audience for giving me a patient listening. So, what were the plans to prevent climate change some centuries ago? We would like to take a look at that. Planet for the future should be without, we need to beat plastic pollution. So, replace, reduce, reuse, but there was no replacement because they did not have plastics. They had alternatives. So what was it? And environmental safety for health, happiness and prosperity. What were the plans? Sustainable developmental goals to prevent pollution of air, water, land and attitude. So indigenous knowledge for global climate change. One earth, one family, one future. So we face the crisis today, so we need to combat it together. And we will look at each one in a different way. So here is what we can use instead of plastic: mud cups, terracotta cups, um, plates. Instead of plastic plates, we use uh, banana leaf which we could be using for as plate, and then instead of plastic utensils, vessels, bamboo and mud, and no plastic. Why no plastic is because planet is choking on plastic. Our planet is choking on plastic. 400 million tons of plastic waste every year, and by 2050 it would be like 1,100 million tons. It is too big a number to neglect. And then we have marine, like 14 million tons per year. 80% of marine pollution comes from land. So it is like from fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, uh, oil spills, noise pollution by ships and marine equipment, pollution from toxic industrial waste and sewage, deep sea mining, light pollution on flora and fauna, which is causing a lot of disruption in the biodiversity, atmospheric emissions. 100 million animals lose their lives annually. So it is a huge pollution wherein it has a huge impact on negative impact on human welfare. We need to do something for this too. So plastic is to be replaced by all this material that has been shown here: arcanite leaf material, banana leaf, uh, pineapple box, palm leaf square box, biohusk. You have a lot of sustainable food packages, cedar food box. We need to use them extensively. Luckily, some countries have started using a lot of this type of material so that we can very quickly say no to plastic, but it is not sufficient. Indian way of thinking: silver, brass, copper, bronze vessels instead of plastic. Wherever plastic is being used today, in ancient days, these were the vessels, these were the utensils that were extensively used. One world, one health. So, yes to meditation and no to medication. So, practicing yoga has multiple benefits in bringing Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. By practicing Yama Niyama and Dhyana and all the aspects of yoga, ahimsa, not to hurt any living being by words or deeds or thoughts, and then aparigraha, non accumulation, which is very important for us to think over. No greed, let go. So, everything of yoga is going to create a positive attitude for global welfare. Then we have a very important aspect where the world eats the most and least meat. It is showing, the map shows more than what we can explain. So it is very important for us to see. In India, in from traditional ways, traditional India, we had Ekadasi once in 15 days. People would fast for religious purpose and for health purposes. 80% of the population doesn't eat meat, but if at all they eat, it is for uh, some specific days in a week. Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, no meat. And for some months in a year, no meat. So, positive attitude by not eating meat will help world peace. Meat in excess is not the way to go. We really need to look at it. um, Vegetarianism is catching up, vegan diet is catching up, but we need to look at it. And then here is some 60 nations worldwide have been practicing Agnihotra, which is a Vedic fire ceremony. Here you can see how many nations have been doing it. This is going to benefit by yielding a higher agricultural produce, no pesticides, no artificial manure, and it is going to help uh, control mental disorders. It repairs ozone layer. It removes harmful radiation in air. So it is the most important uh, fire ceremony that we can do. It can be done globally, and it is helps in air pollution and water pollution also. Then why do we in India use too much of silver is because no tongue cleaner is plastic, it should be silver. And for kids to get medicines, this is being used, and that is also silver. Jewelry is all silver because it is free from PBA, and it maintains body temperature and brain power. It is biodegradable. It is non-toxic. So a lot of silver is being used. We have amulets for a childbirth. It is not superstition. It is not to ward off evil spirits, but it was used for different purposes, which slowly got changed over as a um, evil spirit warding off. We have from Kautilya, 3rd century BC, penalties for water, air, land pollution, and sacred forest. It's not only for conservation, it also helps carbon sink. We have 14,000 sacred plants in India, which was globally it was there, sacred forests were there. Slowly it has been replaced. We have, if it was marine pollution, how it could be reduced by Samudradhyaksha, Aranyadhyaksha. There were officers to see that rules and regulations were followed. And but today we have Swedish model of forestry, which we can definitely take a look at. Special trees for environment, people tree and banyan tree and neem tree. Even today, in most villages, we have these trees, which is more beneficial to prevent uh, air pollution, and it is going to help climate change. So, how buildings were built and how it is going changing today is no cement, no metal. It is cow dung eco blocks are being used, gypsum, mud. It is cost effective, it is eco friendly, no air conditioning needed. So, water conservation, better building materials. So, here we can see this. Uh, it is not only a house, these are houses and also temples wherein it is made up of bamboo and mud, and here is a whole building made up of cow dung bricks, and here is a temple made up of rock, and here is a step well. It is not only for architecture but also for preserving water. It is eco-friendly in all conditions. We have daily rituals to decrease temperature. So we have our own kitchen gardens wherein fruits and vegetables are grown. Tulsi plant in every house, and this practice of uh, sprinkling cow dung water in front of every house and picking, drawing all this. It has multiple benefits. It's also good for carbon fixation. So every small action to save planet, eat on banana leaf or drink in silver cup or glass cup or a terracotta. Some countries have already started this. So building Vedic plaster building material is very harmful. We need to take a look at that. Then metallic utensils for all occasions. Swedish model, as I have been telling you, 380 million trees annually they are getting planted in Sweden, and 980 million tons of carbon emission happens. So people neem and these type of flora fauna and the um, conservation by secretaries are very important way to go. And Agnihotra, if done globally, it is going to have a significant effect on climate change. We have not to waste water, how to take care of water and how to safeguard that. Then we need to plant vegetables and fruits, have our own garden, so we don't need to transport, we don't need to pack it. Then reduction in meat consumption saves Mother Earth. One Earth, one family, one future. We have to think of what future we are going to give away. So it is what happens in the microcosm happens in the macrocosm. So let's all pledge today to save our planet now. So thank you for giving me a patient listening. Namaste.